Hey guys, welcome to Charts 37, and I'm reviewing this, which is the DC Multiverse Mcfarlane Superman Unchained action figure. So this is pretty cool. We got a nice view of him here. He's in the metallic and red, and he looks pretty good. And yeah, he looks pretty neat. He's got the classic red and black as shield. I really like that. I like how they did the paint too. He's got the yellow on the eyes. He's got the silver on the side of the helmets, and he's got the blue there, which looks pretty good. I love the metallic blue. He's also got this black texturing that goes underneath his suit, which you can see, and it's very well detailed. You know, it goes around the suit like this, kind of like more armored, but on the parts where it doesn't have armor, it's kind of made to be like a more breathable mesh, and it just looks really cool. Like they did on the elbows there, which is pretty cool, where the joint is, and they did it on the back of the suit a little bit too, and on the boots. So I think that's pretty neat how they did it. I love the color scheme with the blue and red. I also like how the arm guard covers the ball joint here. I'm not crazy about how they do the wrist ball joints. Like, I've always thought, hey, that's a little weird. So I like that they kind of covered that up a little bit. I think that's pretty neat. And yeah. So overall, it looks pretty good. I like how they did the shoulders here, like the cape. And here you have the cape on the back, or the wings, which are folded down to look like the cape. And how these work, it's very similar to the bat armor that I reviewed. Basically, these just swing up, and then you can rotate them, and they kind of come up and form wings. I will say, the articulation on these and how they did them is a lot better than the ones that were on the bat armor, and I think the articulation for these wings is probably the best we've seen for wings in this toy line in general, and I do think the pegs stay in better on this one than the other figures, but that could just be a problem that some have and some don't, but they do peg into the back. They're removable, and the wings themselves look pretty neat. They're tipped at the end, and they have these little lines and silver parts, and when they're folded down, you know, as you saw at the start of the video, they resemble a Superman cape. So I like that they did that, and as you can see, it's coming out a little bit there, but for the most part, they do stay in pretty well. You know, it's not like the other ones where you shake them around a little bit, it's going to come out. That's pretty nice. And in terms of articulation, you got a 360 at the head. You can look up and down. You have 360 at the arms, swing out the shoulder. They're on the butterfly joints. You got single joint elbows, 360 at the wrist, and they hinge. You have the ab crunch joint, which moves a little bit. Not really an ab crunch, but you do have a rotation at the torso there. The legs come forwards, backwards, and outwards. You have double joint knees, which are nice, and the feet move and go up and down a little bit. And you also have the toe articulation, which is pretty cool. And you also have the articulation back here, which kind of like swings up, and then it rotates, and then the wing itself rotates. So I like how they did that because, you know, otherwise, like, these could end up breaking, or it could be like the Batman armor where they only really go like one or two ways. But I do like how that you can kind of get like different poses in there, and I do like how they did it in general. I think it just kind of works a little bit better than that one. As for accessories, it's pretty much your typical accessories. You get the standard base, which is pretty cool, and you also get the trading card, which is very neat. It's from the issue in which this appears, which I believe is Superman Unchained issue 7. Not 100% sure about that, but it's got some pretty nice artwork around it. And then on the back, it gives you a bio. Interestingly enough, up here where it says the real name, the height, and the weight, this is the exact same as the Superman 1000, which makes sense. It's the same character. And yeah, Unchained issue 7. And then it gives you a bio about the armor itself. So I think that's pretty cool. And you know, this figure is one of the reasons why I was really excited for Mcfarlane to take over the company. Dropped the trading card. Take over the toy license, my bad. But yeah, I just think, you know, it's pretty cool. Like, he's doing figures that have never been done before. Like, I don't think there's ever been a Superman Unchained action figure from any toy company. I could be wrong about that. But, you know, they just seem to be going in there and doing the really obscure stuff, and I think that's pretty cool. And really quickly, here's a comparison with the DC Multiverse Arkham Joker. And as you can see, this Unchained Superman is a little bit bigger. Here's a comparison with the Blue Batman, which is also a part of Wave 2 that's currently out. And again, he's a little bit bigger. He's not a lot bigger, but he's definitely a little bit bigger than them. And lastly, here's a comparison with the armored Batman figure from this wave. And I'm not going to lie, I definitely think these two are probably my favorite armored figures that we've ever gotten from any toy company. They're just really good. You know, they really, like, they accurately represent what they're trying to represent. The detail on them is really nice, and they're very well articulate for their size. And, you know, too, like, a lot of companies like Hasbro and even Mattel, when they held the license, like, if they had made these would have been Build-A-Figures or Collecting Connects. And I like that Mcfarlane actually put these in his regular lineup just as regular figures. And he has talked about doing Build-A-Figures at a point, but, you know, recently they announced, like, the Batman Doomsday or whatever from the like Dark Knight Metal, I think it is, storyline. And, you know, I believe that's supposed to be a regular release figure. It might be a Build-A-Figure, I'm not 100% sure. But I really like how he's attempting to make figures that other companies would have made a Build-A-Figure and just release them as regular figures. I think that's really cool, and I think he knocked out of the park with these two. And, yeah, definitely neat. They're a little bit hard to find at the moment. Hopefully they'll become easier to find towards the end of the year. But regardless, I think they're really neat, and I really like them. Thanks for watching. Please rate, like, and subscribe.